Hello, hello, Sylvia here, nutrition and fasting coach. So yes, we need to be smarter than our doctors, and I'll tell you what I mean about with that. So when you go to the doctor for your yearly physical, there's a few standard health markers that they check for, right? One of them is cholesterol. And you get that cholesterol reading back, and you are within the range, and you get the thumbs up, you're good to go. And let's talk about cholesterol a little bit real quickly here. Cholesterol is necessary. Your body needs it for several functions, especially hormone health. So you want to make sure you want cholesterol in your body, but your body creates its own cholesterol, so you don't need to eat cholesterol to have enough cholesterol, because your body creates it itself. Also, by eating foods that contain cholesterol, it doesn't necessarily translate into higher cholesterol in your blood for most people. So we measure, when we go to the doctor, we measure our HDL, which is considered the good cholesterol, and the LDL, which is considered the bad cholesterol. The HDL is good because it actually helps removing the LDL cholesterol. So you want your HDL a little higher. LDL is the one known for causing plaque in your arteries and clogging up and causing heart disease. So that's the one that you want to keep low. The thing is that we don't see on this test is that your LDL cholesterol there's two types. There's an A and a B. Type A consists of 80% of your LDL cholesterol is a type A, whereas 20% is a type B. Your type A cholesterol is the one that is affected by fat in your diet. Like if you eat in a low-fat diet, or if you take a statin, you'll lower your type A LDL cholesterol. But the type A is cardiovascularly neutral. It's not the one causing the plaque in your arteries. That's the type B. The type B has a smaller, more dense particles that causes the plaque in your arteries and cause heart disease. So by not knowing how much of each, when you get a reading of high LDL cholesterol, you go on a low-fat diet, you might take statins, and your cholesterol comes down. But the type B is not affected by those two things. A low-fat diet is not going to affect it. Your statins are not going to affect it. But on paper, you're going to look like you're doing the right thing. So that's where we need to outsmart our doctors, all right? So the type B LDL cholesterol responds to sugar and refined carbohydrates. So, and it's an indicator of insulin resistance. Which leads me over to talk about the next marker that you get on your blood report, and that is your hemoglobin A1C, or your fasted glucose. If you come back within range, you're gonna get a thumbs up again, and you're good to go, right? But actually, insulin resistance, or let me say pre-diabetes, can be detected up to 15 years before you are diagnosed with pre-diabetes. So 15 years, you can be insulin resistant and not knowing it. And we don't test for insulin. And that is a problem. But that's why we need to outsmart our doctors a little bit. You want to look at some other things, and there is things that you can do. So you want to look at your triglyceride ratio towards your HDL cholesterol. If you look at that way, if you take your triglycerides and divide it onto your HDL ratio, that number will be an indicator of your insulin resistance, and also that LDL cholesterol type B. So you want that number to be as close to 1 as possible. If you're over 3, that's when you want to be a little cautious, because then it is getting a little high. But that's the key to knowing your numbers better, to read between the lines, if you will, on that physical that you get every year. But this is all connected. So it's actually your insulin sensitivity and your metabolic health, your how efficient your body is at creating and using energy, that determines your health, and also how good your cholesterol is, even though it's not going to show on your numbers. So the best way of becoming metabolically efficient is through diet, meal timing, and snacking habits, and exercise. Those 3 things. A low-fat diet is not going to affect these numbers. It's going to look like it on paper, but it's not going to affect your actual cholesterol health or your metabolic health. It's the carbohydrates. So you want to control your insulin spikes, which I'm testing myself. I got myself one of these monitors so I can learn how these different foods are affecting my system. But if you want to learn some tricks on how you can easily become more metabolically efficient, I have a free training tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where I'm teaching five tips that I teach for becoming more efficient. So if you want to join that, let me know below or send me a DM. I'll be happy to get you the link for that. And let's start outsmarting our doctors and knowing those numbers. Start reading between the lines. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.